What up, y'all? You know what it is. It's Ridin Hot Sports. It's your boy Can2. If I can, you can too. And we back for another episode. It's Ridin Hot Sports. I got DJ Little King in the building with me. We about to do some sports stuff. It's going live. You know what it is, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got some topics that are going to be basketball related, football related, high school related, local scene related. So we got a great show. DJ Little King wanted to hop on this one because, man, if there's anybody, I tell you what, if there's anybody that knows anything about high school sports, high school basketball, especially down here in South Texas in this community, this man know it. He didn't just get it from him. I can personally say, if it wasn't for him, his uncles, his grandpa, grandma, they all are the same because they could all equally take his place and talk that shit because they all about that shit and they know this high school sports, man, from West Oso to anywhere in CCISD or anywhere in the coastal Bend area. So we got a great one today. What's good, bro? How you feeling?
Chilling. What's good with everybody out there? Droopy, I see you tuned in. Kai, I see you turned in.
Hey.
QB, what's good with it? Everybody out there, man.
Yo.
Hey, Riding Hot Sports, man. I done made it, man. Goddamn, I done motherfucking made it, man.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
for real. Shit, what you want to talk about first?
Man, let's bring in one of them NBA topics first.
All right, we're going to go straight into it.
Yeah, we're
All
doing
right.
a little different today, you know what I'm saying? I'm a special guest today. We ain't really freestyling it because we got some topics and shit, but we just kind of shooting the shit, you know what I'm saying? We're going to jump around a little bit. Shit.
Yeah, we're going to be like how it is with you and your homeboys. If you just chilling in the room watching ESPN or we in the garage or something, you know, like just kicking it with the people, just talking about some sports. You know, it ain't really no certain agenda or nothing. We just going to get into it. One of the things I want to talk about, because as basketball heads, bro, like this last week, man, it's been going crazy with people. They've been jumping out the gym. They not just jumping out the gym, but scoring out the gym. I mean, you had Joel Embiid with the 73 points, right?
Yeah.
70. You had Luka with 73.
Hell yeah.
You had Luka with 73. You can't forget Carl Anthony Thomas, right? You can't forget him on what he did.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, Towns.
What'd he do?
He dropped 62.
Oh,
and then
shit.
you can't even forget Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell hit another 60 piece.
Damn.
And it's been and Devin Booker. You can't even forget Devin Booker. He dropped a 62 piece the other night. Like it seemed like after Joel Embiid hit that 70 piece on him, everybody decided, well, shit, I could do that too.
Hell yeah.
And
Everybody tried to hit 70.
And the crazy thing, there's only been 9 NBA players in NBA history that have scored over 60 points. And one of them, y'all know, and it's Michael Jordan. The other one you definitely know, which is Kobe Bryant. But what a lot of people don't know is Will Chamberlain did it 32 times, right? Kobe did it 6. Jordan did it 6. Joel Embiid, Devin Booker, Carl Anthony Towns, and who's the other one I just said?
Luka.
They've all done it 2 times. Those are the only people to ever really do it in that fashion. Oh, and you can't forget, oh my God, I can't believe, Elgram.
Who?
Elgram. His last name's Elgram.
I don't know who that is.
I got you.
From back in the day?
Yeah, from back in the day. Back in the day, he did it 3 times as well. I got y'all on there in a second. Hold up.
Yeah, you're going to have to find that one.
Elgin Baylor. I'm sorry.
I'm like, Elgram. Who the fuck
sorry.
is
It's
Elgram?
Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor also did it 3 times.
Oh, really?
Those are the only people to ever do it. Those are the 9 players to have done it in the league and put over 60 pieces. Booker had a great game. But the crazy thing is what Joel Embiid did has only been done by 2 players in history. Michael Jordan and him are the only ones that put up a 70 piece with 10 rebounds and almost 10 assists. That hasn't been done. That hasn't been done by anybody else in the history of the NBA. They're the only 2 that have came close to those numbers with also 10 rebounds. Like almost a quadruple double. Basically a triple double, but they're close to that close and put up those numbers. Wilt Chamberlain has never even did that. It's crazy. In the 76ers franchise, Joel Embiid is the only one to do that. Now, Joel Embiid did hit no, Joel Embiid. Wilt Chamberlain did hit 100 points, but at the time, it wasn't called the Philadelphia 76ers.
What was it?
It was the Warriors.
Oh,
Philadelphia Warriors. They changed names. So in the 76ers history in Philadelphia, Joel Embiid's the only one to do that. But in Philadelphia history, Wilt Chamberlain has that record.
Oh, really?
But it's just they changed names, changed ownerships. It was a different company. That's also when they were kind of transitioning from the ABA, NBA, and everything else. But because even Joel Embiid was like, what do you mean Wilt's never done it? Like, how the hell are you going to say I'm the only one to do it in 76 history?
Yeah.
Because when we think about Wilt Chamberlain, we think Philadelphia and we think the 76ers, but that wasn't what they were back then. It's kind of crazy, man. And I want to say, like, how do you feel like the NBA game is evolving?
Niggas ain't playing no defense. Shit. Straight up. If niggas out there getting 70 and shit, what was it? Three dudes then got 70 in the past week, 2 weeks, whatever, man. That be niggas ain't out there playing no motherfucking defense.
You ain't lying.
Shit, when Jordan hit them, 63 in goddamn Boston, that nigga damn near died for them 60.
You ain't lying. That boy had cuts and bruises, and they might have had to give stitches after the game.
Jordan damn near died for them 60-point shit.
Kobe, I would say, like, I feel like
I watched the 81-point game. That was a good one. He ain't died for them 81.
Who that was on Jalen Rose?
No, I think. Not the 81. The last game that Kobe had. What was the last one
The last one he had was his
like 60 something.
Yeah, it was 60. It was 60 something.
Okay, that game I watched that one. He ain't die for them.
81. He put on Jalen Rose
already.
Because they have that ESPN commercial.
I didn't see that.
He's I'll take 81 martinis in my 81 olives in my martinis.
Already.
Yeah. They have an ESPN commercial on his ass. And Jalen will tell you like, yeah, that fool put it on me. Which is crazy because like. I had a conversation earlier. Shout out to Drew. We was talking about like things being rigged, like scripted and whatnot. And the one thing I sent him, and it's
he in the comments saying that shit right now.
Yeah. We was talking about I sent him a video of Jeff Teague. And I was telling him about, like, man, at that level and those professional athletes, bro, they have ego problems because they are so good. They're the best of the best that when they get beat, bro, they be butthurt like a mother. They really are. They be butthurt and they be caring less about the team and just trying to prove to the other person that's been beating them up. I just want to, like, hit them or give them a cheap shot. And I sent that video, and it's Jeff Teague. Where he pushes LeBron James into the stands. He shoulder checks him. Yeah, he shoulder checks him right into the stands.
He was kicking our ass.
He was just kicking our butt, bro. I got tired of it. And I just had it. I'm a sore loser. That's exactly what he said. I'm a sore loser.
Marcus said Jalen Rose ain't signed up for that 81.
No.
God damn.
But yeah, man, professional athletes at that level, bro, they have egos. You have to have an ego, to be real. Like anything on a professional level, you have to be, you know, in your head thinking you the best. I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this. And sometimes those egos get checked when they get better players. And, you know, they're human. They're human, and human nature, sometimes it gets the best of you and you forget about the game plan and what needs to be done. Not saying there's not things that are rigged, but in certain situations, I feel like with most professional athletes, and I'm sure you've seen it with rappers or anything else or DJ, you know, they're like, forget this person. I'm going to just try to outshow him real quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Forget about why you really there.
That Jeff T situation, he was just getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, he was.
That shit was over.
Yeah.
There wasn't no trying to. That's like niggas kicking your ass at the park. It's about to be above. The score is 14-3. That's what niggas want to start to fight.
Yup. And it's because they so lose, but it's because they have an ego. You know what I mean? And especially at that level, it happens.
Hell yeah.
It really do.
Shit. What else we got over there, man?
Shit. We got, okay, hey, shout out to, all right, I don't know if y'all been watching the Spurs. I know some of y'all ain't Spurs fans, but I know y'all been watching Wemby. And Wemby is a different character. You been watching him play?
Man, on the real, I ain't watching no NBA. I may be seeing shit. What is it? About to hit the All-Star, what?
It's
probably this month.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll be,
Man, I probably seen maybe one whole NBA game this whole year.
The All-Star game this year is in Indianapolis.
To me, the NBA don't get interesting, and y'all don't scold me for this. To me, the NBA don't get interesting to like the second round of the playoffs.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
See, that's how I feel with
baseball. I can't
baseball.
Sit there and watch 82 games, bro. I'm sorry. Like
88.
No, NBA is 82.
88 or 85. It's one of them.
It's 82. It's 82
okay.
game season. I'm like, bro, like I like the Rockets and I root for all the Texas teams, but I ain't sitting there watching 82 games. I ain't finna sit there and get the NBA League Pass so I can watch every motherfucking game. Like, Rockets make the playoffs, yeah, I'm gonna be tuned. You know what I'm saying? I'll be tuned in from round one if the Rockets make the playoffs. But if the Rockets don't make the playoffs, yeah, to me that shit don't get interesting to about second, third rounds and shit.
So like today, I don't know. I love basketball. I love it when on the college, high school basketball. I just love basketball. To me, that's just always fun to watch. But Wemby, I don't know if y'all haven't watched Wemby, but Wemby is like, he a unicorn. He's something different.
Why they suck though?
Because legitimately,
why they suck? Why do they suck? Because it's obvious that Wemby is a specimen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all the reports I see is like the Spurs is on losing streaks. They can't win. Like, why do they suck? Just be real.
To be honest,
y'all that's tuned in, y'all leave.
Y'all mentioned too. If I had to guess, it's because I think Popovich's method is so old school and it doesn't actually translate to today's game. I believe now because at first they had Wemby at a 4. Now they're using Wemby as a 5, and it's kind of what the Lakers did with Magic Johnson when he was in his rookie year. They had Magic at a 5, not knowing he's really a point guard. To be honest, Wemby is not a 5.
I would look at Wemby as like a 3.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where he should be, a 3-2 guard that's switched out. But you also got to remember, Wemby will tell you 20% of the plays that the Spurs run, he's the point guard.
Well, that's what Marcus is saying, that Pop suffers from Belichick syndrome.
And it's very similar to that. And to be honest, that's on point. That's right there. Like, boy, you just hit it on the marker. Like, straight up.
So explain.
So the way Pop likes to run is like how they had Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
So he thinking we won like this in '99.
So we could win like that.
We could win like this in 23 and 24.
But the game is elevated and changed so much.
Niggas ain't playing no defense.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, like, nowadays, like. He don't understand that Wemby is such a great perimeter shooter. He doesn't need to be down there. Just because you're tall does not mean you need to be a 5. Does not mean you need to be a center. You just fucking tall.
Do they need to suck so they could get a good draft pick and maybe draft a
That's
good
what
point
happened
guard?
These last 3 years, and that's how they got Wemby first overall. How do you think they got him? Wemby was the number 1 overall pick.
So what are the Spurs lacking besides Wemby? What pieces are they missing?
Fucking a lot. They missing 4 pieces. They missing fucking 4 pieces. They need to switch all them motherfuckers out. Man. Because even Steven Jackson and all of them are saying, like, they need a whole new fucking team. They need a whole new coach, to be real. I feel like just Pop is just it's past his prime. It's not.
It's past his prime or past his time?
It's past his time. It's past his time, and he is not coaching how you need to coach in today's game. He's not thinking. He's still thinking old school mentality. I guess it would be no different than like how people used to say Phil Jackson needs to get out of the triangle offense because the game elevated after that.
Yeah.
It'd be no different than in football with Bill Belichick. Like, bro, we don't have a running game no more. It's just a throwing league. You can't just fucking run it. It's completely different. And I think that's what needs to be done. They need to get Rebecca Hammond and just take her out the WNBA and put her as the head coach of the Spurs because
they're gonna get her alive, man.
Bro, hell no! You see what she be doing? She made it to the final. Bro, that girl bad. She be putting Baby Davis on ESPN on blast. Like that girl, she knows exactly what she need to do. But it's no different. It's kind of like when you look at the girls' game. The girls' game, we used to think of it in like a slow pace. It's not anymore. Now they shooting. Now they showing. They going to tournament. They going to AAU camps. They're going to different places. They're learning from the boys and going to boys' camps, not just doing girls' camps. And even the girls' camps are good. But it's a whole different thing. And the Spurs right now, even though like if you look at their record, they're not terrible. They have wins, they have losses. I want to say they're 50-50 on both. Not 50 games, 50 losses, but like if we look it up real quick, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see it. They're not doing terrible. They're not the fucking who are they? They're not the Hornets. They're not like other teams that are like literally just sucking butt. Like these, at least they have wins. They go on the road, they win. There are some teams like Hawks and other teams that are just doing crappy and like not even performing. They're a mid-tier team. They're not above the pack. They're right in the middle. But they haven't found their wave. I feel like they just don't know how to use Wemby yet. But Wemby actually got his a triple-double the other night in 21 minutes, and it's a Spurs record that to get a triple-double in 21 minutes. No one else has done that in Spurs history. He did that, and he only played half a game.
I want to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. They just fired their old coach, Adrian Griffin, and they just brought in Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
And their offseason acquisition, if I'm mistaken, was Damian Lillard.
Yes, it was.
So was Damian, what's his name? Giannis not putting it together? Why did this dude get fired?
So word around the watering hole, the watering pool, the cooler, whatever you want to call it, is Giannis is who got the coach fired.
I saw that.
So
I saw some shit that they said that they fired the coach because the coach wanted to cut Giannis' brother.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how true that was. Yeah, I saw that shit.
It's not.
They
false.
said the coach wanted to cut his brother, so
it's not false. It's not false.
Oh man!
But it's not the main reason. It's how Giannis felt like he wasn't being utilized, kind of like Pop. But the only difference is Giannis has more power than like a Wemby. Or anybody on the Spurs, because who the fuck, besides Wemby, who else do you know on the Spurs, right?
Nobody.
Exactly. Giannis is a big name. He's international. He's huge. He has a lot of power in Milwaukee, especially as advertising, marketing, and even in the NBA side. But word is that he was starting to butt heads a lot with the coach, the play calls, things at the end. And he didn't like some of the stuff that was being called. He didn't like how practice was being run. Reportedly from, what's that fool's name? Adrian
Wojnarowski.
Oh, yeah, I can't say that. I can't pronounce that last name. But that he was telling people that we need a new coach. We need a new mindset.
Because they had just fired their old coach, and then this was his first year, if I'm mistaken, Adrian Griffin. This was his first year, and he didn't make it through the whole goddamn season. Shit.
Yeah, he was on the team. He was an assistant coach. He was an assistant coach that got moved up last year at the end of the year. But he didn't make it through the whole year as a head coach. But a lot of it had to do because Giannis and other players. He wasn't the only one. We also got homeboy in there. God, why can't I remember his name? He's an Aggie. The third.
You talking about Middleton?
Yeah, Middleton.
Chris Middleton.
Middleton, man. Shout out to him, bro. A&M represent. But they didn't like how they were being coached. They didn't like how they were practicing. They felt like they weren't taking it too serious. And it got reported where, like, instead of talking to the coach about it, they were just going to the GM. And then Giannis was going straight to the owner. And
God damn.
I mean, at the same time, the owners
sound like that goddamn.
It sounds like some Jerry Jones stuff.
It sound like that Lakers thing, that winning time.
Oh yeah, basically, yeah, like you go to the you know, you're going straight to Jerry Buss, and it's true. That's how it goes in that thing. Basketball is way different from other sports because you have so little players. You only have like 12 people, maybe. Yeah, like 12 people on the team. And then you have a practice squad of 5, maybe 7, that never dress up, never dress out. They're just strictly there, and they're usually brought up from the G League or something like that. It's a completely more intimate sport with owners and players because it's so many less people. So the owners really establish real relationships with players.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for a player just to go straight to the owner.
Man, let's speaking of Jerry Jones, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys real quick. You know what I'm saying? Dallas, man. They gonna keep what's his name? Mike McCarthy.
They're gonna keep Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott.
Well, I think they have no choice but to keep Dak Prescott. I think this is his last year under the contract. After this, they could decide what they're gonna do. But I don't think they would cut him and still pay him all that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Man, I think Jerry needs to go as the GM. If
That's
they want to move forward as
too.
a franchise, I feel like Jerry is on the Bill. Jerry got that Bill Belichick pop
mentality
syndrome too. Shit, he's still stuck in goddamn 1992 and shit. You know what I'm saying? 1993.
Yeah,
he could do it. Like he need to hire a real GM.
He does, but the problem is, man, he that's his problem, and I feel like that's why we will never get Bill Belichick to the Cowboys.
That's what I was gonna say too. They should have went after Bill Belichick, but I feel like that ego with Jerry Jones, he didn't want to relinquish any type of power to Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick ain't no yes man.
Yeah, no, and that's why
Jerry Jones always wants that goddamn yes man shit.
And that's why Jimmy Johnson lasted as long as he did. Jimmy Johnson left because Jimmy was one of those people that pushed back. He did it at Miami. He did it at Oklahoma State. He did it at every place he was. And especially with the Cowboys, he pushed back, and that's why we had Barry Switzer the next year. And to be honest, even though Barry Switzer did his thing, that was Jimmy Johnson's team. Yeah. It was his same game plan, and Barry was Jerry just to fill in.
And my thing is too, okay, say they let fucking Dak go in free agency, which I doubt that would happen. I would think they would do like some sign and trade type shit. Like who's better than Dak that's gonna be available? Because you could try to trade up and get a draft pick, but I'm looking at like what Houston did. When Houston got C.J. Stroud, bro, they hit the lotto.
They did.
That was a lotto ticket right there. Like, I don't even think they realized it. You know what I'm saying? But that was a lotto ticket.
No, I think
and
they
I
did.
just feel like a good quarterback in the NFL is real rare. And what would you replace Dak with?
To be honest, I would feel like I was never a fan of Dak at Mississippi State. Because I seen Dak play at Mississippi State.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because he was in the SEC and they played A&M a lot. They play A&M once a year at Mississippi State. I didn't see the greatness that.
No, it was all hyped up.
He was all hyped up.
No, because Mississippi State had beat somebody and they ended up becoming the number one team in the nation.
They beat Tennessee. It was Tennessee that they beat. But that I never saw that. Even in person when they played at Kyle Field, I didn't see that. I saw Mississippi State's defense shine. I saw their wide receivers shine. It's no different than when Johnny played. People say Johnny was great. Johnny was good. You know who was fucking great? Mike Evans, the person he threw the fucking ball to. He was fucking great. That's why he stands out at Tampa Bay. That's why he's one of the most all-time leading receiver at Tampa Bay. That boy is a beast. And it helps you when you have somebody to throw to.
That's what Marcus is saying right now. Marcus is saying that Dak is not the issue. It's not having a running back and also not having a number 2 receiver.
It's very true, and he's right about that. Our running game since Ezekiel left, and I don't get me wrong, Pollard is great, right? And Duke and everybody else and Dabble, they go in there like they're great, but they're great second string, third string running backs.
But is a running back position even relevant in today's game?
I mean, could you can argue that fact?
I always see a lot of people on social media crying that Dak makes crucial mistakes at the crucial time.
See, okay, this year he really didn't. He made it in that game. This year was his best season that he's had in his career. I would also make the argument, like, look at 49ers and Christian McCaffrey. Are you going to say that running back isn't relevant? Because he runs the shit out the ball.
Those are rare. He's rare, though.
He's not really. He's a white boy.
He's
just
rare.
Fucking running and doing what he's supposed to do.
He's a rare talent.
But like a lot of people never saw that. He never got scholarships. He didn't even get a scholarship to Stanford. The only reason why Christian McCaffrey went to Stanford, his mom and his dad played there. His mom was a soccer player. His dad was a football player. And he wasn't even given a scholarship. He was a walk-on. And then they gave him a scholarship there. That fool was overlooked. I feel like what we were saying about like different, like Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy went to Iowa
State.
You're right, Iowa State. That Big 12. The first time in NFC history in the last 30 years, 2 Big 12 quarterbacks were playing in the game. It was Baker Mayfield and Brock Purdy. Both of them not highly recruited out of high school. Baker Mayfield, really a walk-on, really tried out for Oklahoma. He wanted to go to Texas, but Texas never offered him anything. The only one I think got offered was A&M, and he passed up. But he decided to go to OU because he wanted to play Texas and prove a point. And Brock Purdy was the same. Brock Purdy did his thing there, but he wasn't shining. He wasn't at the great. But you know what?
I watched Oklahoma State games when Brock Purdy was there because he
Iowa State.
Iowa State. That's what I'm saying. I watched whenever Brock Purdy was at Iowa State. Matter of fact, I was at the Brock Purdy game whenever they beat Texas at the end. In this, I have a video on my phone of me leaving the stadium talking about because that's when Earl Campbell Earl Campbell had basically came out and said Texas won't be great again until they have a black quarterback. And I remember leaving that game. It rained the whole fucking game, and we lost at the end. I remember walking out that stadium like being so pissed because, like, fuck, I went to the game in the fucking rain, and we lost this bitch. Like, it was on Black Friday, too, and it was Brock Purdy that fucking
but the thing is, they put in the homework.
In Austin.
They put in the homework. Both of them, like, learn. They watch film. They're students of the game. And, I mean, for Brock Purdy to be in his second season, and you got to remember, this is Mr. Irrelevant. The last pick in the fucking draft. Mr. Irrelevant, only $870,000. Dude is still sharing a house with somebody because he don't make enough money in San Francisco for that. Dude doesn't even know what shower he's going to shower in when he goes into the building. But yeah, he's leading the team to a Super Bowl.
See, Marcus said he was a 4-star. Hell yeah, he was a 4-star shit.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's
you saying he wasn't.
No, that's not a 5. But in high school, there's a difference between a 5-star and a 4-star.
Shit, a 5-star is rare. A 4-star is common as fuck.
So it's common. It's not.
Shit.
It's not like it's like something special because we talked about
it is, nigga. No, a 4-star is special. What do you mean?
No.
Like I follow high school sports.
We talk about it because
a 4-star is special. A 5-star means this nigga could play from day. This nigga could start from day one.
Yes,
that's the difference between a 4-star and a 5-star. A 4-star can still start from day one. Don't get it fucked up. But a 5-star just means this
you that much better.
It just means this dude is expected to make an immediate impact.
Okay.
And there's even time, dude. Vince Young was the number one. Vince Young was a 5-star number one recruit in the class of 2002. You know what he did? He redshirted his freshman year. So you can't really go by that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like just because it's like that, I mean, like because let's be real. When Brock Purdy came out into the draft, was he high on anybody's draft boards? No, he was Mr. Irrelevant. But yeah, who's going to the Super Bowl? It's kind of like that meme that showed up between Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy. One making almost, $80 million. The other one making $870,000, but one going to the Super Bowl. And he got more wins in the playoffs.
He's about to get paid, though. Shit.
He got more wins in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott put together.
Yeah, but it's a big team effort. Lamar's out there
that's what I mean. Like, but he's still out there. Like, because you got to remember, he did something that hasn't been done in 30 years.
What?
In the AFC Championship game. In the second half, he was
Purdy?
Yeah,
the NFC?
Yeah, the AFC.
NFC.
No, that's AFC.
Nigga, the 49ers.
49ers NFC.
NFC.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Stop
NFC.
freestyling.
Sorry. NFC. I'm sorry. NFC. It's been a fucking long day. The NFC, he's done that hasn't been done in 30 years, right? He threw in that last half, threw for over 150 yards. Did it on third down was at 80%. On 3rd and 4, when it came down for long, he made every completion over 10 yards for a first down. Ran for 52 yards in that. Like, that hasn't been done in over 3 decades. Pat McAfee was talking about it. Shannon Sharp was talking about it. Stephen A. Smith was talking about it. That ain't never been done. Like, that dog is in him, but nobody saw it. And sometimes it happened.
I saw this shit at fucking DKR Stadium.
But you was in the rain. You was still wiping your eyes when you was watching
Stadium
that.
Shit.
But you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't pay attention
because
to that.
I feel like the NFL, these dudes, the NFL higher ups and executives, man, these dudes, they don't. I can't say they don't know because obviously they fucking do know. But it's like, to me, I feel like a lot of good players don't even get a chance in the fucking league, and a lot of fucking bullshit players are in the fucking league.
Yeah, no. To Marcus, yeah, he was a legacy player, but go look. The Stanford didn't give him a scholarship. Go check that.
Alrighty, man. Let's move on to something else.
All right. I'm going to ask you about this. Now we're going to talk about basketball. We're going back to basketball. How do you feel about Luka?
Man, I'm telling you, I don't watch the NBA like that, but I know Luka's raw as fuck. But
Boy,
I don't really watch the NBA
raw.
like that.
Boy been playing professional ball since he was 13.
Yeah, I know he raw.
He was playing 13. Do you know the story behind how he got drafted with the Mavs? Okay, so the Atlanta Hawks actually wanted him, right? So how it was is
didn't they trade him for Trae Young?
Yeah, what was going to happen was instead of the GMs talking, Mark Cuban ended up calling the owner and saying, hey, I want him. Your guy that you want is still going to be there. Let's just trade up and get him because the Mavericks traded up to get Luka. When they did trade up to get Luka, they got him. The reason why Mark Cuban wanted Luka so bad is the scouts loved him. The analytics guy said he was the best in the draft. Analytics-wise, shooting, free throw, three-point, points in the paint, rebounding, was outdoing everybody. And nobody saw that because he was a European player. He was over there. But you also got to remember, at 17 years old, he was putting it on OKC and taking it to him and putting 20 points on them as a 17-year-old. And a lot of people kept him under the radar. And that's one thing I felt like the Spurs did so well. They were always great to draft overseas and find that talent like they did with Ginobili and Parker and everyone else, and just how they did Wemby. They're really good at that. That was the first time the Mavs really took an interest in European players.
What? Dirk Nowitzki?
No, but I'm talking about like since Dirk, they ain't never did that. They ain't never went back. You know how long Dirk's been out, and how long Dirk.
I want to say the Mavs were the first team to draft from a dude from Mexico or a Mexican dude at Warhol Nahara back in like.
But that ain't Europe. That ain't Europe, bro.
I'm just saying that
ain't Europe.
Mark Cuban has always been taking.
Yes, and that's who. But I'm telling you, this is coming out of Mark Cuban's words. Mark Cuban's mouth. You could look it up. Google this shit. That's what got him. His analytics guys loved him. The scouts thought he was okay because what they saw, but he was also young. And then they took Luka, and ever since Luka's been in there, and yes, Luka loves Dirk Nowitzki. He's actually tried to mimic his game and a lot of abilities, and he even credits Dirk on his fadeaways and everything right there outside that area. He credits him the most. But I feel like Luka is, man, he's a beast. What he's doing for the Mavs and what he's doing on a day-to-day basis and the numbers he's putting up, it's fucking ridiculous. Like that boy is a star. Like I feel like sometimes he gets left out in some conversations, but what he can do on defense and offense, full court, is very special. And a lot of players, like you say, in this day and age, they don't play defense. They just out there to shine. And like James Harden's one of them. James Harden don't play.
Main one, shit.
He don't play no D. Don't play nothing. And then you got people like Patrick Beverly that all they can do is really play defense. Yeah, and then when they can and they get beat, they want to hack and cack and all that stuff. But I feel like Luka's one of the best in the game. But I was going to ask you, who do you think is also on that level in the elite players besides the ones that we always say is like LeBron and things like that? Who else in Giannis, like, who do you think is like somebody that's just, they're going to be great for the next 10 years?
Man, I'd probably be lying because I'm telling you, I don't even watch NBA like that shit. Let me think, though. Man. One dude that I would say, though, Scoot, what's his name? Scoot Henderson or some shit like that. What's his name? I forgot let me see what team he played for.
You know what I think is really good?
He came from
you know who I think? Melo.
Yeah, Scoot Henderson. This nigga
bro. You know who I like?
Yeah,
you know who I really like? Anthony Edwards.
He played for the Trailblazers.
That boy.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards can jump out the goddamn building.
Yeah.
That boy is, every game, he's putting a highlight reel together. He's posterizing somebody together. He doing things that I feel like in the next 5 years, he's going to be the face of the NBA. He already did the movie with Adam Sandler.
He gonna have to go to a different team though.
The Timberwolves. With him and the Timberwolves, it's kind of like
have to pull a Kevin Garnett.
Shit. But that boy is raw. That boy is one of the best in that thing.
For sure.
All right, you had a topic on
I got this.
Yeah,
what I got. I came with some questions.
Yeah, he came. Yeah.
For him, and he could probably ask me the same question. Y'all could chime in too. Y'all that's tuned in right now. Who is the best high school basketball player that you saw from Corpus, and the best high school basketball player you saw with your own eyes in person in general?
The best person I ever saw in high school, and probably just, in high school, was Tyrann Mitchell.
Already.
Tyrann Mitchell was something special. I never seen somebody control the game the way he controlled the game. Literally, he was the definition of a point guard, and the way he moved up and down on offense and defense, and even could put a highlight reel in a game, is something I've never seen. The best shooting performance I've ever seen out of somebody is Joe Cuellar out of Carroll. I believe till this day, he holds the record at Carroll High School for most free throws in a row, and it's like 198. I remember, because, man, Coach Bell would always put that shit up. And I've never seen somebody shoot the ball, especially the three-pointer in the corner like him. I tried to shoot the three ball like him when I was in school, because I saw how he would just see it. He was one of the best, cleanest, purest shooters I saw. Him and, you know who else had a nice shot? Lamar Beasley, when he played at Ray. He had a pretty shot. But high school overall, Tyrann Mitchell.
I'm talking about like in person, not just Corpus.
Yeah. That's in person, because I seen him in person, because we traveled and we watched him.
The best I ever saw in person, I'd probably have to say, I'm gonna name three. The best I ever saw in person with my own eyes would be T.J. Ford, Sugarland Willow Ridge, Chris Bosh, Dallas Lincoln, and damn, who else was I? Oh, Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick was nice.
Kendrick Perkins, Chris Bosh, and T.J. Ford. Those were the best I saw with my own eyes.
You know who else was? And I'll give him a shout out. Jacoby Satterwhite.
Oh, yeah,
Jacoby Satterwhite had probably some of the cleanest passes and dimes I've ever seen in the game. The way he just threw the ball to somebody was just like, it was like a string on a rope. Just perfect.
Also, I want to give some props too to the dudes that we didn't see that came like before our time. Like shit, like I always say, when they say who the greatest basketball player ever in Corpus that I just in general that I've seen or did not see, I'm always have to say Jerry Davis.
Yep.
So my number one would always be Jerry Davis.
He played with the 76ers, right?
No, he got drafted by the Washington Bullets. He played college at the University of Detroit. His college basketball coach was Dick Vitale. He averaged like 35 points a game his senior year. His junior year, he averaged like 32 a game. You know what I'm saying? Led West Doso to 3 straight Final Fours. That would probably be the you know what I'm saying?
I think that's the best one.
I would also say Lance and Willie Harper, man. Shout out to the Harpers, man. Lance and Willie Harper.
Yeah.
Who else? Let me see. Shout out to Christian Mack, man. His brother, Chris Richardson.
Chris Richardson was a beast.
Was one of the best to come out of Corpus shit.
There's a story that
Quincy Sims. Ahead.
There's a story about Chris. And Chandler, that's his older brother too. That he used to shoot with the lights off in the gym.
Oh shit!
Like just in the same spot, and turn the lights off, and he would shoot just to hear. And all he would try to hear was the net. That was something I heard growing up. That fool would just turn off the lights and have like the back lights on so you could kind of see the ball.
Yeah.
But it was in the dark. He would shoot. Shout out to him and his brother, bro. They both Harlem Globetrotters. But Chandler, man, shout out to Chandler. Chandler did his thing. And he's still doing his thing with the Harlem Globetrotters, man. We used to hoop all the time.
And the best football player you saw?
Okay, so I don't know. I didn't watch a lot, but it would have to be the two we've had on the show. Price Macon and Tim Price.
Already.
Those are the two best football players I think I've ever seen. Price on a level where he was so dominant as a freshman stepping into a varsity role at 14, 15, beating the crap out of 17, 18-year-olds. Not just because of his size, but the way he thought of the game and how he played and how he trained. And you got to remember, this fool was my neighbor. So, like, I saw him every day.
Biased opinion.
Yeah, it probably is a biased opinion. But but one of the fastest, most gifted football players I've ever seen on the offensive side because Price played defense, was Tim Price.
Oh, really?
He was what that boy can do in like just pure speed, quickness, and how he would catch the ball was something else. And that was something that I feel like he translated into the track game.
Yeah.
But that dude was special. He was a specimen that I'm talking about. When they talk about a 4.2, that boy was running like a 4.23, a 4.21, like fast.
Yeah, Marcus, I see you. Marcus said Lonnie Atkinson. Man, I'd have to. To me, Lonnie is the best receiver that I saw. And Tim's my dude, but what Lonnie did, like, I guess I'll just go with the top 3 receivers that I saw. Lonnie, Tim Price, and goddamn Daddy-O, Nathaniel Dunn. Them the top receivers I done saw, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But just in football in general, in Corpus, man, I'm gonna have to show some love to the coldest white boy I ever saw, man. That boy Ted Barnhart, man. That boy ran for 2,000 yards, and he didn't even play. That was his senior year. He ran for 2,000 yards. His junior year, he played on defense, so he didn't even play goddamn offense his junior year. They put him on offense his senior year. Boy ran for 2,000 yards, and he was the only reason. Man, we would go to those Carroll games just to watch Ted. Like, it was literally like that. Like, we finna see, like, it was almost like Ted gonna run for 200. Like, we literally would go to those games just to see what type of shit Ted was gonna do type shit.
That's wild.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, see, like, I was telling him before, too, like, I didn't watch a lot of football because during that time at the end, that's when basketball season, we had practice. We already getting ready for tournaments. We doing stuff. I didn't watch, but man, from what I would hear, what I would see, especially on KIII, the Blitz or whatever, the boys that was on the highlights, the boys that was in the news, them the ones that would make the paper.
Yeah, Mark Miller, Johnny Smith, all them, man, shout out to all y'all, DeAndre Fieldmore, Stephen Fieldmore, all y'all did y'all's thing.
I mean,
when you say the Sports Blitz, I think of them names, I think of Frankie Morales and shit like that.
Yeah, you're right. But like witnessing in my own eyes, it was them.
Marcus, who's the coldest that you ever saw just in general, not just in Corpus, but in general? Marcus Lavelle, who's the coldest you ever saw? V Flicks too, man. Shout out Flicks, man. He did
what
his
up,
thing
Flicks?
out there on the football field too, man. Who was the coldest football player you ever saw, man? In general, not just in Corpus, the coldest high school football player you saw with your own eyes, man.
And y'all hit him up for them clothes, man. He be making them dope ass shirts and them dope ass clothing. Y'all better hit that boy up for some clothing line because I know I get some from him, but it should be fire. Y'all definitely need to check him out.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Like it just, I just didn't want. Man, there was.
Marcus said the coldest one he saw was Wayne McGarity. Wayne McGarity went on to play at UT. Wayne McGarity was out of San Antonio, if I ain't mistaken. I could be wrong, but I thought he was out of San Antonio, but I could be wrong. But I know he went on to play for the Longhorns.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I saw some dope people in college, but that's because I was at my school and I saw them. Like Malcolm Kennedy was really sick. He was a great wide receiver. He ended up playing for the Saints. Speedy Noel was one of the fastest people I've ever seen. I did get to see Johnny. There was Mike Evans. I mean, to me, like, to be honest, I don't think I understand how tall Mike Evans is. I've stand next to this guy, 6'5". You think it's not that tall, but that's.
Dude, I seen Mike Evans.
He's a skyscraper.
Mike Evans playing a basketball tournament here in Corpus against West Oso. Galveston Ball versus West Oso. The game was at Moody, and Mike Evans was. Nigga was like the center and shit.
Bro, that's what I tell you. It's kind of like I said with Wemby, bro. Just because you tall, they put you down there, you know, and then you don't. But I got to see him. Malcolm Kennedy was one of the best, I think, receivers I ever saw with his hands. Because I would go to some of the practices, and that boy would catch everything. I feel like the only thing with him is he was just short. He was a kind of short for a wide receiver, like 6'1", barely 6'2".
Shout out to my dude Marcus, man. He trying to keep me humble, man. That boy did his thing back in Carroll High School back in the day, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. That man,
got to go to school and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, Marcus, you did your thing, bro.
He a true ride, not supporter, too. You know what I'm saying? He always fucking with us.
Shout out to him,
Shout out Marcus, man.
Yeah, give him that clap. Yeah. It's a new button we have now.
Yeah, we
updated. We updated.
Yeah, we climbing steps gradually. We figuring this shit out.
Yeah. Money's starting to like help us.
We got enough money to add a little.
Yeah. I know. We had it the other day. He was all telling me, "Don't be pressing that button too much."
Man, for sure. You got anything else for me?
Yeah. Okay. We also got I have a question in for people then. How do y'all feel about the coach leaving Washington to Alabama and not telling the players?
Kalen DeBoer?
Yo.
He didn't tell the players?
He didn't tell the players.
Oh, shit.
He just fucking, like, the players found out through social media and ESPN. He didn't even show up to talk to him.
Well, what goes around comes around, because whenever he got the job at Bama, Isaiah Bond, which basically just transferred from Bama to UT.
Yeah.
Whenever the coach was trying to hit him up to try to convince him to stay, he
said bye. He said bye, Felicia.
He didn't even tell him bye. He just didn't even respond. Shit, he just said. Next thing you know, he was in Austin posting a picture inside of a Lamborghini. He said it was over there.
And he said he got 108 calls within 8 hours when he entered the transfer portal.
God damn,
that shit is wild.
But yeah, man. With that, man,
that game.
This college football coaching carousel, man. It gets interesting every year. Like every year is. Big coaches getting fired, big coaches leaving, retiring, and it's always like the next dude up type shit. And Caleb DeBoer was the next dude up. I think the way he went about it was in a fucked up way. But I'm gonna just be honest, man. Earlier today, I'm looking at Bama's recruits that they got coming in with the class of 2024, and man, they still got a good class coming in.
Yeah, they do.
I don't see Bama slipping off that much. It's gonna be a little drop because obviously home dude ain't Nick Saban, but I don't think Bama gonna drop off too much.
I feel like Bama is not gonna be your front runner. I think Georgia's your front runner for the SEC to win again. I believe you're right. They're going to have a great team. They got great players.
They said UT's a front runner on the way too early SEC one that I saw like 3 weeks ago. I want to say they had UT number 1, Georgia was number 2. I want to say number 3 was I want to say they had OU 3, and I want to say Bama was 4.
I didn't see that.
It was like a CBS one or some shit like that. It was like a way too early SEC prediction.
I did see they had Georgia as the front runner. Because Georgia, I believe in the SEC, has the number 1 class coming in. And then I know Bama was number 1 until Saban left. It's going to be interesting with OU and Texas entering the SEC. To let y'all know, we are going to be in Kyle Field 11:30 when A&M plays Texas. We're going to be broadcasting live from there. Ridin and I will be on the road. But I think it's going to be fun. I'm just happy that Texas and A&M about to reunite that rivalry. And then you get to keep Texas and Oklahoma rivalry too, because that's really good for the schools. It's good for the program. It's great for just watching and people that don't even really follow football, but maybe like the schools or went to the schools or alumni. To them, it means something. And that's what college sports is all about. I do know that it's with the coaching carousel, like you said, it's starting to become more professional business aspect than it is coaching the players. And like Marcus said right now, it's hard to get these kids to commit. I mean, Dion said it best. Most of these college kids can't even commit to a girlfriend in college. How do you think they're gonna commit to a school for 4 years? You know what I mean? Like he ain't lying about it. I do like that Dion Primetime said, what it should be is once you commit to a school, you're not allowed to go on any other visits. You should be denied visits to any other school after you commit to one. Because right now you could commit to a school. I could commit to Texas. But then I can go take a visit at Oklahoma. I go to USC. I could go to A&M.
Yeah, because a commit is just a verbal commitment.
Yeah, but that's what Dion's trying to say. Nah. Like, once you commit, you're not allowed to go. Once you say you're going to go somewhere, you ain't allowed to go. It's because you're allowed so many visits per year.
I feel like once you sign, you shouldn't be allowed to go. But once a commit is just a binding. That's like me in 8th grade telling all my homeboys. That's like me
what you mean.
Being a student at Grant, and in 8th grade, I'm telling all my homeboys, man, I'm going to Carroll. Man, I'm going to Carroll.
And then you go to Ray.
And then I go to Ray.
Then you go to Ray. Yeah, that happens.
Shit.
No, but you're right. But I like how Dion brought that up because that should be something to be considered. If you're going to publicly commit to a school.
Well, should I have to go to Carroll because I told all my homeboys I'm going to Carroll?
But if you tell the school you going to Carroll, let's say you tell the school you going there, I'm going to go there. Shouldn't they believe, oh, yeah, we receiving this player. We need to start getting ready for this player. How can we start, you know what I mean?
Because a verbal comment, you're not signing no type of paperwork. They're not even putting you
I get that.
They're not even putting you into the school system yet.
But even in the state of
That's why I say
Texas.
once you sign and like they're paying for your school, then that's when it should be.
But
you know
like,
what I'm saying? But like I say, to me, a verbal commitment is me being a student at goddamn South Park and saying I'm going to Carroll and I go to Moody.
I think. But in Texas, if you tell somebody,
or I say I'm going to Carroll, then I say, you know, by the time before school letting out, I'm saying I'm going to Carroll. End of 8th grade, I'm saying I'm going to Carroll. Beginning of the summer of 8th grade, I'm saying I'm going to fucking Moody. By the time fucking 9th grade starts, I'm over here at King.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? No, and that's what they do all
night. And I get that. But at the same time, you also got to remember, like in the state of Texas, if you tell somebody you married to somebody legally, you married in the state of Texas, that's a verbal commitment without the paper. You don't even got to have a marriage license.
You ain't got to file, but when you get divorced, you ain't got to go to court either.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, that's because, like, verbal contracts also are something you could take to court. You know? So, like, that's why I feel like I understand where he's coming from. Speaking on Dion, we're going to get on that. Did you see that his 2 kids bought him a house with their NIL money? Yeah. Dion's sons bought him a new house, not like he can't afford it, but bought him a new house in Colorado with their NIL money and made a whole big meme, and it's all plastered all over social media about it.
God damn.
That's crazy. So, Super Bowl predictions, because we on the football subject. Who do you think is going to win?
We talked about it on Monday, man.
A little bit, yeah. But for the people that ain't,
I got the Chiefs.
I do too. I think the Chiefs are gonna win.
Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like this is where you can say it's scripted, right? I feel if Travis Kelce has a big game because he just passed Jerry Rice for all-time receptions in the postseason. Jerry Rice has had that record forever. Travis Kelce just passed him. He surpassed him in the AFC Championship game. If he has another breakout game, I feel because of Taylor Swift, and this is where you can say it's scripted, Travis Kelce gets it over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but if he has a breakout game, he deserves it. Like, there shouldn't even be about being scripted or whatever. I just feel like if Travis Kelce has 160 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, then you got to give it to him.
But if Patrick Mahomes has 300 yards and touchdowns, who do you give it to?
You got to give it to Mahomes.
That's how I feel. I feel like it should be Mahomes because he's the quarterback, and that is the most important position on the field. I can see why you say.
But it also depends on how he gets the 5 touchdowns.
Very true,
if
very
just
true.
Little 5-yard dips or little slants But if he threw goddamn 350-yard bombs, you know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Just because because of the whole Taylor Swift thing, people are going to say that. It's going to be brought up there. But I do believe the Chiefs are going to win. I think the 49ers.
Who y'all got? Y'all that's tuned in. Who y'all got? Y'all Super Bowl picks, man.
But I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, and I think they win by 10, like I said on Monday. I give it by 10. I'm just excited to see these commercials, though.
Oh,
I like the commercials.
For sure, shit.
Yeah.
Anything else? Shit.
Let's see.
Take us out if you don't, shit.
No, that's all I got. You got anything?
Shit, I'm good, shit. Y'all let us know y'all Super Bowl picks in the comments, though. Even if we ain't on the air, if y'all catch this, y'all go back and watch this. Y'all let us know who y'all got for the Super Bowl in the comments, man.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody that watches it live, that comes back and rewatches it, that shares it. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. You helping us get this. Yes, helping us get that new stuff. We got some things coming up, great things. Don't forget tomorrow night, Ridin High concert series. Who is it?
We got Seba coming through, and then after that, I got an interview with DJ Dwan Gotti, man. So y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night, man. Starting at 9:15, going all the way to about 12 a.m., man.
Yes. Make sure y'all come in, and don't forget about the news on Monday. Don't forget about Off the Cush with Scoob on Tuesdays. Don't forget about everything that we do. Riding High Sports is always on a Wednesday, concert series on a Thursday. And if there's an event out in public, we try to be there Fridays and Saturdays. And then don't forget our Let's Chop It Up. But it's your boy, Can2. This is DJ Little King. If I can, you can too. Riding High Sports. We out. And, man, appreciate y'all for watching.
Hey.